Every time you take a life-saving drug, eat genetically modified food, or hear about a new cure for a disease, you're seeing biotech in action. But what exactly is biotech? Hi guys, I'm Neo. Welcome back to 23 Weeks of Banking. This is week 3, where I'm going through concepts to help me prepare for my investment banking internship this summer. Today I want to talk about biotech. So I'm going to be working in the biotech industry, and I want to make sure that I really understand what exactly I'm walking into. I'm not coming from a biotech background, so a lot of this information I'm learning as I go. Okay, so what exactly is biotech? So biotechnology, or biotech for short, is really the use of organisms or biological processes to make our lives easier. So typically you'll see this in healthcare, you'll see this in agriculture, or in environmental science. Think vaccines or gene editing or genetically modified organisms or crops that grow in extreme conditions. All of that is biotech. But the biotech space that I'm going to be working on is biotech slash biopharma. So really, we're going to be thinking about the process behind the scenes of how drugs are created, tested, and then commercialized so that they can reach the public. You can already start to see why biotech is so important. Within the healthcare industry, for example, you have game-changing treatments like mRNA vaccines or cancer immunotherapies. As far as the economy, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So there's a lot of room for innovation and job creation. And then globally, as far as the issues that are top of mind, food insecurity, carbon emissions, clean energy, biotech is really supporting all of these initiatives in different ways. So let's talk a little bit about the key players in the industry. So as far as the industry side, we typically talk about biotech versus biopharma. So biopharma is going to refer to those big pharmaceutical companies. Think Pfizer, think Amgen. So these big companies, they do their own research and development as well, but they also have massive commercialization teams. So they have sales teams, resources, they create commercials, they get these drugs to consumers. And then you have biotechs, which are smaller and more focused on the intellectual property. You have preclinical biotech, so that those are companies that are still working on developing the drug. They haven't even reached the clinical stage to get to testing yet. You have clinical stage. So now drugs are developed and they're testing to see efficacy and safety. And then you have commercialized biotechs. So these are companies that have one or more assets that are currently on the market and ready to be taken by consumers. Drug development is really expensive. So in the industry, you also have investors and venture capital, which is a major source of the research and development money that these biotechs use. And then lastly, also in terms of getting money into the right hands, you have mergers and acquisitions. So a lot of the time, since big pharma is so good at selling the drug and biotech is so good at creating the drug, big pharma will acquire smaller biotechs in order to gain that intellectual property and use the drug in combination with the commercialization machinery that big pharma has built in order to try to sell the drug to the masses. Okay, so where do investment banks come in? There are two main parts. There's capital raising and advisory. So with capital raise, early stage biotech companies need money. Research and development is really expensive, and they don't have a drug on the market yet, so they're not getting revenues yet. They're pre-revenue. So what they do is raise capital, and typically this will be through equity raises, and that's where investment banks reach out into the public and try to get capital to feed that research and development need. Then you have the advisory services with mergers and acquisitions. When a biotech reaches a certain stage and they feel that they have a robust platform that is attractive to big pharma, they may reach out to an investment bank and say, hey, we're thinking about selling. We think a big pharma company is going to do a better job at selling these assets than we can. So can you reach out to your contacts and help make this happen? Or big pharma may reach out to an investment bank Hey, we need more revenues. We have all this cash on hand, but we don't have an asset to sell. Can you reach out into the market and see what's available that you think would be a good fit for our platform to increase our revenues? Investment banks work on both sides. They act as the middleman in order to make these transactions happen. Okay, so what excites you about biotech? Are you interested in biotech at all? Or are you really here for more investment banking content? Let me know. Leave a comment below. What I'm going to do from now on is have a small segment. I'm thinking 60 seconds, 220 seconds, a minute or two, where I kind of talk about trends in the biotech space, because it's really important for me to stay on top of them, and I hope you find it valuable too. So, thanks for being here. Again, my name is Neo. Peace.